Lokoz boxing. Did Tyson Fury make Deontay Wilder more humble? Prior to Deontay Wilder's defeat after his third fight with Tyson Fury, Wilder had a more arrogant and cocky persona that he would display. Whether it was really him as a person or whether he was really just acting that way to promote himself as a fighter and his fights. That I leave up to you to decide. He recently started crying in a post-fight conference about how people are inconsiderate or insensitive of boxers who get KO'd in the sport, and how a boxing fight could lead to someone losing their lives or having permanent damage, and by extension, a family member lost within the family. He went into details on how boxing is not a game and how people are not sensitive towards this. But prior to Wilder losing to Tyson Fury on the third fight against him, Wilder had a very different attitude towards the way he acted and expressed himself about this subject. He essentially was guilty of all these things he is now claiming that the people or the boxing fans are guilty of. But not only has he been the one that's guilty of these things, but he's actually said far worse things. In an interview, he said, "This is the only sport where you can kill a man and get paid for it all at the same time. It's legal, so why not use my right to do so?" This isn't the first time he said something like this. In a different interview on a press conference, he also said, "This is the level of the fight, right here. This is the funeral. There's just no casket yet. This fight right here, I will get a body count on my record. I've been waiting for one for a long time." If you need more proof yet, in another press conference, he confirmed that he meant everything, even the killing part. So how did we go from Wilder constantly saying these types of things, or the nature of these things, of somebody ending up hurt in the ring or dead, facing him killing somebody essentially, to him crying after his victory against Robert Helenius because fans celebrated, and the media, Wilder's victory by KO, with a speech about how we should be more sensitive to how fighters can be permanently damaged, hurt, or even killed in the boxing ring, and how families can be left without their breadwinner or provider, or even their family members due to the death on the ring. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that people have a right to change their ways of thinking or their ways of acting, or their beliefs, if you will. However, there's no doubt that there has been a huge change in Wilder's tone and the way he expresses himself when it comes to this subject. It just really seems like he's had a lot of time to think and reflect about the way he's been acting, and possibly about the severity of the things that he has said when it comes to fighting his opponents. He's obviously not the first fighter to say things of this nature and take them to extremes. However, in his case, we are seeing some type of change in his attitude, in his expressions. He really seems more humble now. And sometimes it really just takes defeat in order to rethink things and become more humble and not think you're above everyone and everything. And don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Deontay Wilder. I actually really enjoy watching him fight. However, there's only two things that could have happened here. One, he's a hypocrite and he's just trying to lecture everybody while he's doing the opposite, and he has not changed one bit. Or number two, a part of him has been more humbled, and he's trying to take a different approach as far as how he expresses himself and as far as how he has put some thought into this very sensible subject, and how he now wants to bring this into the attention of the public to try to bring more understanding to those affected in the boxing ring. So what has changed? Well, it was after his defeat that we see this sudden shift in his tone. It really looks like he did become more humble after fighting Tyson Fury for the third time and tasting defeat. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just pointing out that that may be the factor that has helped him think a little bit more and helped him mature a little. Let me know what y'all think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Lokoz Boxing.